is all entirely escaped in the rock, and this Marco projected this.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Yes, he was telling us that he did some design. So the hotel was on top, and then they...
No, how do you call it? The grotte, the canteen, the cellar.
Yes.
Always existed.
Right.
Since the building was brought up.
Yes.
Because it was common in the use to have cellars under the buildings.
Yes.
But it was absolutely nothing of what you see now. I mean, it was tunnels, narrow, small, there was just earth, rock, and puddles.
And so
that was it.
Marco turned it into this.
Marco, yes. Did the project. It was. It took 5 years to restore it.
Right.
And they brought out of here 1,300 trucks of rock in 5 years.
Wow. Oh, this is exciting.
Oh, that's beautiful, isn't it?
Oh, so glorious.
Nice, huh?
This is marvelous. So when we see Marco, we can be a part of this.
And how old is the building?
Well, I know the activity started in 1882.
Ah.
It started as a restaurant, so it took about 131 years. But actually, I don't know where exactly the year, maybe Gabriele knows, the exact year when the building was actually brought up.
This is glorious.
It's big. Big.
And Marco designed, he did the project on the cellar, shows all the materials, everything.
Yeah.
Now, Marco mentioned that the day we met him, he said he'd just come out of Castel Gandolfo, the Apostolic Palace there, where, I got the impression that he was doing some work on the inside for them.
I don't know about actually his sort of personal things out of the restaurant. I
Right.
don't know what-
I just
all the things he sort of follows. Yeah, I know he does things for. What?
You're cameraing me, eh? I'm cameraing you as well.
And this is glorious.
There's a lot of rock.
There's a little wrap-up corner here that I'll leave you in the other part of the cellar, which is actually the heart of the cellar. So it's where is all the wine. Okay. This is for the customer. The wines are in another, let's say, condition.
Right.
You can have a look.
This must be the escape route.
Yes, it's not less than your own.
So you've got the glass in the floor here.
Charles.
Beautiful.
Very nice.
More work.
So 1,300 truckloads of rock.
How many men work on it?
Actually, 3.
With the jackhammers, huh?
Yes, 3 men who live here. They are from a place,
Right.
and they've always been doing this all their life, almost.
Yes.
And then, depending on what was to do, of course, there was a sort of other equipe,
yes.
I don't know to say squadra, team,
Yes.
let's say. depending on the things. But mainly it was the three
The
men.
three, the overseers. Yes.
Where are you from?
Australia.
Oh, so it's very
And Anna is from Germany.
Mm-hmm.
We arrived in Germany last week.
Yeah, I was just about to say, you had a holiday or...
Well, we came to see Benedict, he's years old. And we very concerned when we told him we'd be here for his birthday to Nathan. But yes, we got the information out to us and wanted the world to know about it. So we come to...
It's been a holiday. Francis has locked him up, and his staff has been sent out of the country.
Yeah.
And,
All except
the only
George.
one who's got left seems to be George is coming back now, and he may be with him, but
That's
You talking about the
Benedict.
Benedict's my best friend.
at the very beginning, I thought you could be probably Benedict, just a name. I mean, just a coincidence.
No.
I thought you were coming along to see your friend. I don't know, and as you were speaking, I realized I said, no, they're talking about the Pope.
Yes, yeah. I put this together just before we came out tonight. But this is all the evidence, the communication and the evidence of where it all started with Benedict for the weeks before we got it. This was actually his Facebook page. But Father Giuseppe set it up for him when he came into retirement. And so this is part of the communications. We've actually got boxes like that of it. But after the meeting with Francis on the 22nd...
Francis told me, if we come to Rome, we'll be arrested.
Yeah.
That's what Francis told me,
Yeah.
personally.
And that's the night that the investigators of Francis shut down Benedict's Facebook. It was his personal email communicating with us. This is their communication telling us what they've done to Father Giuseppe. Father Giuseppe's disappeared, and we were told that he was actually murdered by Francis's investigators. So this is serious business. And
Very
this is
serious
evidence
business.
I'm getting all
Yeah.
It's a
shivers.
very serious business.
Yes, we...
See, I've been advising the Pope on
We've been
prophecy.
asking him many things.
So I'm an expert on this sort of thing. And in Revelation 19:11, it talks about 7 popes or kings, right? So that is when the Vatican became a city-state. Right? There's been 7 popes. And it says that one pope will be the 8th pope. Right? That's not Francis. Francis is illegal.
The conclave was
The conclave was
illegitimate.
totally illegal. Right? It's set up. Right? This is beast. This is Antichrist. Right? So I told Francis, I said, you're out of here.
Francis intend Francesco, right?
Francesco,
Yes,
Papa
Francesco.
Francesco,
Okay.
the Pope Francesco.
Yes.
So we told Benedict, right, that whoever walks out of the conclave is the Antichrist.
Totally.
That's it.
We totally set up.
And it's totally set up. So the Jews are behind it.
Yeah.
The Jews have sniffed their way right into the Vatican.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
So-
Below the Vatican, they've got a 24 or 25 rooms, and it's all dedicated to the devil, with Lucifer on the wall.
Sacrificing all kinds of
Well,
horrible
this is
things
some of the
been going
Vatican.
on over the years.
So, well, Benedict didn't know that. He didn't know anything about anything like that because he
Benedict
wasn't
is a
computer
lad.
savvy. He
He's
knew
a
about the
man,
computers.
a man, a beautiful,
He's a beautiful
pure
man.
man with no knowledge of what's really been happening, not only in his church, but in the world outside, and how
No idea.
influence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could actually say, oh my God.
Well, Mamma Mia is, because we begin to learn.
So, Benedict wants us to notify the world through electronics.
Probably
Francesco was not chosen by case. I mean, they wanted to put a figure which had to sort of do something, you know, I don't know to say that correctly in English, change the system and try to gather as much young people as possible, because in those last years, in those last 4 or 5 years, many young people have been
Gone
sort
away.
of, yes, gone
That's
away.
right.
The interest was really
Dropping.
dropping.
Well,
And
have
rightly
you
so.
heard of Vatican II? Are you familiar with Vatican II? Vatican II was rewritten. The Vatican I was 1400 years old. Vatican II was written by over 3 years by 2,500 men who wrote it. And Benedict asked me what I thought of it. So I wrote Vatican III for him. And I gave him Vatican III. And he said, this solves all the church problems.
Absolutely
He's
everything.
going to
Every
make
problem.
it an apostolic letter with the Vatican III involved. He gave that to Francis, and Francis said, I don't believe any of it.
Rejected, and then 5 days later, still rejected.
Still
and
rejected.
then it was April the 3rd that Father Giuseppe was talking to me, you know, instant message through Facebook, when the investigators for
Kicked the door
Francis
in.
kicked the door in, and later the description was what happened that night when he was taken away, was that they punched Benedict to the floor.
You're bleeding.
Honey, oh, careful. Please.
This up, because now it's sort of,
Oh no, I got to buy it all now.
okay.
Benedict was knocked to the floor with a bleeding ear. He was crying on the floor, and Father Giuseppe went to help him up, and they've handcuffed him, taken him away, put him in a black limousine, chloroformed him. He woke up in a basement. They booted him in the jaw, and he said his jaw was like he had a
It's
jaw.
a brutal injury.
And since they've cut off all communication with Benedict. Especially from us.
They
We
said-
don't even know
oh,
that
yeah.
other people are allowed to communicate.
But
with him.
you're involved in this because you have something to do with the church, or just because you
No,
sort of,
no,
fedeli, you know, you're, how do you say?
Well, what happens, I wrote many books.
I'll walk ahead while you explain me.
Okay.
Here was, I wrote many books, and the things I know, for example, the Great Pyramid in Egypt, it's all to do about the Lord.
No, you have to speak a little slowly.
The Great Pyramid in Egypt,
Okay, yes.
all to do with the second coming of Jesus. Okay?
So many
And I
lines.
explained all that to the church. But also, genetically, I have the most royal bloodline through the British line. And I've told the Queen to get off the throne because I'm more royal than she is. And that's what started it all. That started the police coming after me, the CIA, everybody around the world, the Jews, all hunting me down, right? They tried to kill me, right? So by the time Benedict found out about all that, he has to say why. Right? So then I explained how I can explain how the Bible has secret codes in it. And I revealed the codes to him. And after 3 days, he said, that's it. He wants me to come to Rome. Right? This is how it all comes about. But in the meantime, he told Francis, which I said, not to, don't tell Francis, whatever you do. But he did. Because he thought he's a lovely man. Made a mistake. Next thing they slew up on him. Because this is the most important. So this is the end time, right now. We are in Revelation, as of next.
It's nothing happened.
It all works on solar eclipses and lunations and the position of the moon
To
and
look
stars.
through it and then
You gotta know how to read it.
steps.
And there's a solar eclipse occurring on the 10th of May, and that's over Australia. And you measure from that distance to here, to Rome, to where he was born, and it tells a story. So it's a bit complex for me to tell you now, because it takes a lot of understanding. But this is what it's all about. Well, he understood, because he's a very expert man.
Nice coffee
He understood
pucks.
immediately. After 3 days of mental.
Cute.
So that's what it's all about. But he made a mistake of coming to Francis. Now, the job of trying to make it out. I think what's going to happen.
So you think that Francis is...
Francis is going to die very shortly, according to your time. And then Benedict would come back as
everybody
Pope.
thinks this.
Yeah. Well,
Everybody
Benedict-
thinks
see, he's
this. I
been-
don't know if they for the same reasons.
They've been
Many
putting-
people think that he's trying to make too much difference,
Yeah.
and so he's something
He
that
wants to keep the church poor.
he wants to show how to keep the church poor,
Yeah. There's a reason for that.
and all the others which do not do this. I mean, we see many. We sometimes have had many big lunches with cardinals
Yes.
and
You would. Absolutely.
and we think, well, maybe I wonder who or how many are going to
Tolerate.
do without all this, you know,
Yes.
drinking and after. I
No,
mean,
no, no,
I
no,
saw
it's big
drinking
time.
really, really a lot.
Yes.
And with Francesco was saying, oh, I don't want a car, I don't want that, I don't want that. I mean, this is a
That's
church, must be poor. And so I said, oh, well, not me. Most of the people think it's a common thing. They're going to get rid of him in a very short time because I mean, he's going to annoy, bother something up.
Yeah, I'll leave it.
High.
I think he's going to die, but they may kill him. And they've been trying to kill Benedict.
But you were saying something like Benedict trusted Francis and
He made a mistake, yeah.
he made a mistake.
Yeah.
He said to me he's a very Christ-like man. I said, no, he's not.
Yeah. With Francis.
He
it's
wants to
not
keep the
sure.
church poor because in the Jesuits, they believe that the poor and suffering people are close to God. And therefore, when they walk amongst them, they are close to God. I say, no, 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 no. What Jesus wants is to raise people up so that they've all got money and they've all got healthy families and they live well and are educated. That's what the paradise is coming to the earth. The Lord's Prayer is all about coming to the earth, not dying and going to heaven. But the Lord's Prayer is to say, paradise is coming to the earth and Jesus returns to the earth.
But for example, I'm honest. I'm not in it. I believe in God, but I'm not, how do you say, hypocrite. I don't know how to say that in English. You know, those people. Oh yes, I believe in God. I'm religious, and I go to church. I do not.
You don't have to do that.
No, no.
I'm honest. I mean,
No, well, no.
And actually,
you.
when I'm desperate, maybe sometimes I pray and ask His help.
Yeah.
But I'm not the one
Well,
that prays every
the Spirit
day.
of God is, if you're good, made in the image of God,
It's to be with love inside you. you see.
and love
God is
and
love.
compassion, that's it. It's not religion, it's not tradition, it's not the hoo-ha of the church. It is all
Pure.
about being good. A compassionate, loving heart is the Spirit
Okay,
of
then
God.
maybe that's sort of. I think it could correspond to me.
Yes.
But I don't show up. I mean, I don't, you know, go,
Well, you don't
maybe
have to
so
go to
many
church,
people
it's
go
none
to
of
the
that.
church on Sundays,
You don't have
No.
to.
and then they're really,
Most of those people miss out.
they are really not nice people.
No.
And I know many stories about those people. You see them in, because the country, they must show the country they go to
Yes.
church on Sunday, but then they do
Yeah,
the worst
and they-
things.
Yeah, even during the week, so and then go and confess it and all the rest of it. And no, it doesn't work that way.
No, okay. But this to say, I'm not involved in the thing, so I'm actually ignorant about all this, you know?
That's actually a good way to be.
Good thing.
Because you're not devoured, but you wouldn't believe how many Christians are so devoured by, for example, the Bible itself. It's been manipulated by man. God measures his earth and his temple. The book of Revelation is accurate, Isaiah is accurate, but a lot
Matthew
in
is
between
accurate.
has been totally manipulated, so that people are so consumed by the words in the book that they
I have
actually
never
miss.
read.
That's a good
Well, that's a
thing.
good thing.
It's a
Good thing.
good
I
thing.
have no sort of influence. I have only what I sort of imagine, actually, because, for example, my mother, she is Baptist and then Christian, and
Yes.
when we were little, we had to do our first chrism. She did baptize me,
Baptized, yes.
and she baptized only one of my brothers, because he was, they said he's not going to live more
Yes.
than 1 hour.
Right.
And so she felt she had to do this.
Yes.
But she didn't baptize my second brother.
Mm-hmm.
And when we were going to school, you do religion because you have to do the comunione. And she said, no, you're not going to do this because I think you're too young to understand what religion means. And maybe you could not decide not to be Catholic when you're old. And so I'll just leave it up to you. And she did this with me and my brothers.
Yes.
Then I decided to do the comunione on my own when I was 20. My other brothers didn't.
That's the communion, Holy Communion.
Yeah, I mean, she left us free to...
Yes.
Because she said, I don't believe that a 10-year-old
Yeah.
child can really deeply understand. I mean,
She's right.
whatever you put in a child, you'll be able to fit it in. I mean, so... And I don't know why I got to this. So she was very free. So all that I have is actually, I did the comunione, but it was, when you're old, it's something very sort of short and concentrated.
Well, actually, that's interesting because with the Vatican III that he wrote for
We can-
Benedict, it covers that, and there's actually what you said just then, that there's more or less the basic training up through childhood, and then as adulthood, when people come into full understanding of then comes the baptism and the confirmation and all that. So she did it right, Mother did it right. But I'm thinking you'll really appreciate what I've got over here. I'll read it to you. It's written in Italian. And it's the
Close me out. Grande. Hello?
This one. Thanks.
Okay, yeah. Okay.